Hello again and welcome to another episode of Mindfulness, week 43, Sowing Seeds of Peace. And the quote for the week: we need to take action to develop compassion, to create inner peace within ourselves, and to share that inner peace with our family and friends. Peace and warm-heartedness can then spread through the community, just as ripples radiate out across the water when you drop a pebble into the pond. By the Dalai Lama. Every day we are faced with headlines of unimaginable violence, cruelty, and discord in our world and our own backyards. We hear stories of our children bullying each other. We watch our adult leaders behaving like bullies and inciting conflict. Global peace, and even peace in our own communities, feels like an unattainable fantasy. How is it possible to attain inner peace that mindfulness promises when there is so much brutality and hatred all around us? How can we promote peace in such a badly broken world? The situation is not as hopeless as it might appear. We do have the power to promote peace in our own small circles, knowing that the ripples of peace can spread far and wide. Mindfulness teaches us that peaceful minds lead to peaceful speech and actions. Many religions believe that the minds of all living beings are interconnected. So that means our most insignificant thoughts must have some effect on all other beings. Consider this. What if each thought you have brings the world either a little closer to more violence or a little closer to more peace? This week, you will focus on using a peaceful mind and peaceful actions to nurture peace in the world. Day 1 journal prompt. Today, I focus on cultivating inner peace and equanimity by noticing negative thoughts and emotions that cause internal storms and instead focus on gratitude and acceptance. This is what I noticed through my efforts. Day 2 journal prompt. Today, I cultivate peace in the world by sowing seeds of peace with my family, friends, and coworkers. I am mindful of my actions, my words, and thoughts around them. This is what I noticed through my efforts. Day 3 journal prompt. Today, I decide to tune out the negative, violent information that comes my way through my digital devices or television. This is how I detached from negativity today and what I noticed through my efforts. Day 4 journal prompt. Today, I contemplate my own prejudices and entrenched beliefs about other races, cultures, religions, and customs. I make a point to read and educate myself more about my prejudices. This is what I noticed through my efforts. Day 5 journal prompt. Today, I spread peace by showing a child or another person how to achieve calm through deep and mindful breathing. This is what I noticed through my efforts. Day 6 journal prompt. Today, I mindfully regard any people who have hurt me or offended me as my personal teachers. This is what I have learned from them. Day 7 journal prompt. Today, I examine myself honestly to see how any of my words, actions, choices, or beliefs are inviting discord rather than peace. This is what I discovered about myself and how I intend to change. Bible verse for this week, Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Jesus praises those who actively create peace, not just those who avoid conflict, but those who intentionally sow harmony and reconciliation. Being a peacemaker aligns us with God's nature and mission. And the reflective question for this verse: in what ways am I being a peacemaker in my relationships, my home, or my community? And the spiritual insight for this verse: to be a peacemaker is to act on behalf of God's heart for unity and wholeness. Even small gestures, gentle words, calming energy, and quiet understanding can carry divine weight and spiritual power. And in Romans 12:18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. This verse acknowledges that peace may not always be reciprocated, but it calls us to take personal responsibility. Our actions, not others' responses, define our obedience to God's peace. And the reflective question for this verse: What am I doing to maintain peace with those I find difficult to love or forgive? And the spiritual insight for this verse: peace begins as a personal practice. While we cannot control others' behavior, we can control our response, one rooted in love, prayer, and restraint. You become a wellspring of peace when you stop participating in cycles of reaction and reactivity. And in James 3:18, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace for those who make peace. Peace is both the soil and the seed for righteous living. When we consistently sow peace, we not only influence others, but we also reap spiritual clarity, fruitfulness, and wholeness. And the reflective question for this verse: what harvest might I begin to see if I consistently sow peace in my thoughts, words, and actions? The spiritual insight for this verse: peace isn't passive, it's generative. Every kind response, every moment of self-restraint, every effort to bridge divides plants a seed that God can grow into healing for you and for others. In summary, the ripple effect of peace. In a broken world filled with noise, fear, and conflict, peace can feel fragile, but it's actually powerful. It's contagious. When we cultivate peace within, we plant invisible seeds that ripple out into our homes, workplaces, and communities. This week, challenge you to become a conscious vessel of peace, shifting your thoughts away from fear, stepping away from negativity, and extending grace even to those who've hurt you. True peace is not avoidance, but active compassion, practiced even when it's hard. In conclusion, be the peace you pray for. You are not powerless in a violent world. You are a ripple maker, a peace planter, a child of God, assigned to cultivate harmony even in chaos. True peace is more than the absence of noise. It is the presence of God within you, moving outward. Let your inner stillness become your outward strength. Speak peace, model compassion, make space for reconciliation. Sow peace in the soil of daily life and trust that God will bring the harvest. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Thanks for listening until the end. I'd love to know what you thought about the layout this week, specifically the weekly summary and the reflective questions. How were they helpful for you? Drop a line below. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out my website, Reygan360.com, where you can book a one-on-one discovery call to uncover insights on how you can better apply these and other practices in your daily life with ease. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your presence here is greatly appreciated, and your engagement on this channel helps others to find its content for their own benefit, all part of the collective healing efforts across the globe. Also, be sure to check out the description box below, where you'll find a link to our weekly prayer and support group. If you'd like to join, it's free. We'd love to have you. Namaste, namasko.